Okay, so it's recorded. Mehendi is always having a problem connecting. Yeah. If some of you will see that Mehendi is trying to connect, you just tell me, okay? Because I will not see it. Once I open this one, I will not see whoever is logging in. So it's a big problem. So going back to that discussion a while ago, this is just a sheet of information before you do the installation. Okay, so we talked about the others, IP address and everything. So keep it with you, print it out, and then put all those informations there. But basically, with the documents that I provided to you, it's a straightforward instruction how to install it. So Mehendi now sent me a message. Okay, he's there. Okay. Some other information that we need is on the part of the media gateway. Okay, because we also need to provide an IP address for your MGU board. So how do we do it? We will do that as well after we have installed the system. Virtual installation, of course, if you are not familiar with virtual machine, it's a step-by-step how to configure a virtual machine. But I also have my document is based on virtual machine as well. So yeah, you can read the information or you can go to that document that I prepared and you can install it. The only thing which is not part of my documentation is the vCenter. So basically, vCenter is used for many ways, like the HAFT and other virtual machine features. Okay, these are licensed virtual machine applications. So what we need is an ESXi, a vSphere to be exact. Okay, we need a file, OBA file, which you can download from from my Access portal. vCluster, so this is the FT. Okay, so how to install the FT if you have the licenses. So you can uh, follow these instructions. Post configuration, of course, make sure that your hardware is minimum 6 GB. By the virtual machine is minimum by 6 GB. So normally I put it on 8. 8 is a little bit okay for multilim, or you can go up to 16 if you have enough memory on your hardware. Okay, but minimum 6 GB. But I would suggest make it 8 GB up. Hardware CPU, okay, by default, 2 CPUs will be allocated per virtual machine, each virtual instance. If you plan to use fault tolerance together with MX1 service, this must be changed to 1 CPU as multiple CPUs unsupported in FT mode. So again, that is a virtual limitation. Options para virtualization, this is for fault tolerance. Your resources on your CPU, okay, whatever settings that you put there might affect the MX1 capacity as well. Resource memory, okay, depends on the capacity needed, the cluster host configuration, how many virtual machines are running in parallel. Of course, this has to be set up properly. Finishing, install and configure MX1 service node. Okay, for provisioning manager, at least 4 GB or higher, so that you can install it on the same server. If not, then you install it on another server. So for the OS or operating system installation, again, as I mentioned, if you are using virtual machine, the software is included, the operating system is included, already installed on the OVA. You just need to run the net setup, which is the telephony setup. But if you are using the DVD, the turnkey installation, there is a part where you need to click on install. Okay. So install OS on service node, physical server. This is what you are going to see. I'm going to make it bigger so that you will see it. So first, there are things that you need to do. Um, Unfortunately, I don't have an ASU 2. I have an ASU 3. But I need my screwdriver just to show it there. This one that I have here is an old one. So this one like that. Yeah. This is just an example. Let us share it with everyone. Okay. So this is an ASU E, but basically it's the same as an ASU 2 and ASU 3, but the difference is this old one is using an HDD, SATA. The new ones, they are using SSD. And the memory of this one, the reason why we cannot use it anymore, the memory of this one is 4 GB. So it's not equipped or it's not to be used for the latest version. What you need is first you have to connect a monitor, a keyboard. That is the only thing you need. Yes, network cable is a must because when you're doing configuration, you must be connected to the network. Now, physically, you will always get one SSD. If you want to have mirror, just for redundancy of hardware, you can have two. And there can be a configuration for that. One more thing about this ASU is that by default, it has pre-installed. Let's say you have a spare one, you installed it, and there is no operating system. So what you need is a USB stick. And this USB stick normally comes with the project. When you have a new project, it comes always with USB stick, a 64 USB stick. So that is your recovery DVD, recovery USB. So you have your keyboard, you have your monitor, and you have your recovery USB. Turn on the 3U light. Actually, there is no switch on, switch off in the 3U light. You just need to power on the main power. Now, when it boots up, it will boot up by itself. If it is preloaded, it will boot up by itself, and then you just need to go to that part where it says install. This is what you're going to see when you boot it up. So you have to type install, installation of SLES and my voice mx1. Okay, no other option, only install. Now, in terms of USB, okay, when you put the USB here, the thing is the BIOS itself, it will boot up on the hard disk. Okay, so before, when it boots up, you have to press F2. It's not written here, but you have to press F2. F2 is if you want to go inside the BIOS. Okay, if you want to change the boot up, but I don't recommend that. Okay, because if you change the boot up to USB and then hard disk, what happens is that during installation, the system will restart by itself and it will reboot again on the USB, which is wrong. It will just keep on doing the booting on the USB. So what do you press? F7. When you press F7, now you are able to choose where to boot up. Boot up menu. So it's a forced boot menu. So you don't need to change the BIOS, but if you press F7, you have to see where your USB is. Click on the USB, and then enter. Okay. Then when it boots up to your USB, and then during the installation, it will restart. It will not boot on your USB, hence it will boot on your hard disk. Okay. So it's not part of this one. So please write it down, take note of it. Okay.
12 for
F2 for BIOS setup, which you don't need to change anything. F7 is for the boot menu.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Once the system is up and running, you click on install. Okay. It may take anywhere between 15 to 1 hour depending on the system use resource available, of course. If your memory is lower than 8 GB, then it will be much slower. But because we have 16 GB and 32 GB, it will be much faster. First, it will unpack all the SUSE Linux application operating systems, like you're installing Windows.
Okay.
So it will give you, for example, this one is 17 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay. Now, the problem is whenever you create a bootable USB, for example, the customer misplaced the USB. So how do you create your own bootable USB? There is a procedure which I also included on this document, on the one that I shared to you guys. It is here, materials, how to, and then there is a bootable USB. Okay, so instruction, how to make your USB bootable and how to transfer those recovery files. Okay, you have to unzip those files, and once it is unzipped, then you copy it to your USB, to your recovery USB. And once everything is copied, then you have to run this command to activate the USB in such a way that when it boots up, it will run those files. Okay, that is how simple you can use you can create your own USB. Okay, so if you're going to use Rufus, make sure, because this is 64 GB, I put large FAT32 by default, and it has to be grub. Okay, you have to select grub on 2.06. So once you have that, then you can follow that instruction and use your or a live CD, which okay, nowadays you don't have it. Okay. During /sp3 installation, system will reboot after main copying paste. In most cases, system will automatically boot. So this is why we don't use that BIOS setup. Okay. Post installation, not quiet installed keyboard. Of course, you have to set the keyboard of your SUSE Linux, and then finally, after installing everything, this is what you will find. Log in. Now you log in as root. The password is change me, and then you do the net setup. Okay, and this is the start of installing the system. Now, again, in the documentation, you can follow that documentation, or you can follow this one that I shared, that I created. With the one that I created, there is a step-by-step for the virtual machine, how to upload it, because not everyone knows how to use VMware or haven't seen VMware before. So this is how we do it. Deploy an OBF template. Again, an OBF can be downloaded from Mitel Access. If you are in the country where export control is active, you cannot do this. You have to ask your disti, the distribution, to provide it to you. Because for me, I can give it to you, but because you are in training, I can give it to you. But if you are in Saudi, I cannot. I am not allowed to give it to you. Okay? As a Mitel employee, I'm not allowed to do anything. to give. So OVA, you just search for it. So there are a lot of files there. So it would be better if I click on this one and that it will tell me which is the latest version. Click on it and then look for an OVA. You can see there is an Azure to deploy in Azure. There is also an EX, GX. Okay, you have a KBM, Hyper-V, and then you have an ISO recovery if you want to download it and use it for the USB stick. You also have MX1 Media Kit that you're going to provide to your client if they will provide their own server and SUSE Linux. Okay. You also have your the upgrade. If you want to upgrade your system to the latest version, you have your virtualized appliance, which you need. So you download this one and then apply it to your virtual machine. Again, much better if you do a navigate and go to that particular system that you're looking for. Click on the arrow, not on the. If you click on this one, it will open everything. So it will be according to version, and you have lots of them. So I would suggest click on that arrow, click on the version that you need, and click on the release that you need. And then it will only provide you based on that release. Okay?
How will know this release is updated?
That will be the very one on the top.
Sample photos.
Okay?
From here we can download that.
From here in Dubai, you can download.
Not in Saudi. I can open it.
You can open it, but click on it, see if you will have an error. Because you're here in Dubai. Because when I was in Bangladesh, I'm already Mitel, but I cannot download. Because the PC or Mitel detects that you are in that country. Are you able to download?
Export approval is right.
Why? Because it's either your account is on Saudi account.
Yes.
But I don't know. In Bangladesh, I cannot even. So I don't know. Maybe some strict restriction. Okay. Or you can use a VPN. But anyway, I will be giving you the document, so you will have it.
Exactly.
Okay.
That will be helpful.
So with export control, the thing with export control is that if you cannot download something, okay, let me just give you an idea, because I do have all this thing. Just an example for this one. I think this is an example for which partner is this? Okay, someone have asked me about this before. Yeah, Mehdi, you're the one. Okay. So in Bangladesh, they are under export control, right? There is an email there, international_trade@mitel.com. Yeah. So you have to send an email to that email address, asking them, we would like to download particular software. So you have to tell them which software specifically you want to download. So if you tell them specifically what they will do, they will open up for you. But of course, there is also another information that you need to provide them. There will be a sheet of paper, an information. Why do you want to download this and for whom?
The customer also.
Yeah, the customer name, the hardware ID of the system, and so on and so on and so on. So these are SOP, by SOP. Or there is another way, like what Wajid told me, he has a VPN. So he tricked the internet that he's not in Pakistan, so he can always do that. Or ask your DST to provide it to you, and they will provide it to you. Okay. So OVA file, how to load it? Just put a name for that OVA file and click on drag and drop. Select for the file. Okay, which file? And once it is there, then click next, next. Select a data store, which is the hard disk where you're going to install it. Take PIN, leave it as it is because that is what is recommended. And as you can see here, your Dell data store, everything is there. And just finish. Once it is installed, it will be like this. So if you have a virtual machine, the first thing that I will do is take a snapshot. Okay, so if why do I need to take a snapshot? This is another feature of VMware. The thing is, if you don't do a snapshot and you start installing configuration the system, and later on you did the wrong configuration. So what do you need to do? You cannot work on this virtual machine anymore. You have to reload it. Okay. So rather than reloading, I'll take a snapshot so that if I do something bad, then I could always revert to the snapshot where it was last taken a snapshot. Okay.
This is snapshot where it will store.
On the same VMware machine.
Same image.
Yeah, I will show it to you later. So installing the server, just to give you an idea, root, change me, and then net setup. Once you have done net setup, this is the installation.
Changing password is default, right?
Yeah, default one. Yeah. So are you going to set up? Yes. Then you have to set the keyboard, okay, and then where you are located. Now, we need an NTP, right? But here we said, okay, I'm in Asia, I'm in Dubai, but this is Linux, not a requirement for telephony, it's Linux. They're setting up Linux. Here you click on master server because we are going to start installing one service node. So master lim, always the service node number one. How do you want to install it? Now, this document that I created is based on 7.4 already. That's why you can see the cloud environment, Azure, AWS, GCP, and so on. But on a later version, you will not see this. Okay, in 7.0, you will not see this. In 7.3, you will not see this. Okay, but in my lab, in the training that I'm going to provide to you, is based on 7.3, not 7.4. Why? Because I want you to learn how to upgrade the system. If I put it on 7.4, I cannot explain to you how to do upgrade. Okay. So network bonded, this is the network redundancy. If you want to do network redundancy, I am recording, right? Okay. If you want to do network redundancy, you click on yes, and then it will ask for other information about IPv4 and IPv6, like this one. So network bonding is for network redundancy. Here, make sure that when you put the IP address, sorry about that, there should always be the subnet, depending on what subnet you're going to use. Okay. Important here is the IP address that you're going to use, the IP gateway, host name. Again, as I mentioned to you, it can be any other name. I put there MX1 server 1, MX1 server 2, server 3, and so on. Domain name, whatever is your domain name.
There is no any domain.
For me, I'm just using mitel.com. That's it. If you have your own domain name, you can put your own domain name.
If there is no any domain, then you can put domain.
You can put any mycompany.com, any domain. Okay. Now, this is the root password. Okay, as you can see here, by default, there is only one account for Linux, and that is root. That's why you can log into Linux server. Now, change me is the default password. But with this setup, you are changing that change me. Okay. Now, also, because we are installing telephony, we are adding 2 additional user for Linux. And that is mx1_admin and mx1_user. Now, as you can see, one is retype, just to confirm. in my training, I always use this password because if one of you cannot forget the password because everyone will be using the same. Now, sometimes in a training, one guy will put his own password. So when he put his own password, he forgets, I cannot help him. He have to reinstall everything again. So just for training or maybe for your lab setup, you can use the same password. It's much easier to understand. MX1 admin, MX1 here, MX1 root. But here, it's only root, not MX1 root. It's only root.
These logins are all Linux.
Yeah,
Not
this
for
is
Linux.
logging in for Linux. These two are you are going to use it to log into the telephony. There are two options. One is user, one is admin, and you will see it later on. Okay, stop the installation. No, I will not do that. Confirm your IP settings.
Okay, it's not confirmed, we can change it
Sorry.
here.
This is just an example of the IP address that I used, sub 24, my gateway for that IP address. Actually, we're on the same IP address now. This is my name, host name. I put there S node 1. It can be S node 2 for service node 2, service. Again, it depends on you which name you're going to use. I would prefer to make it caps lock. This is the domain name, mitel.com. And then DC1 rack 1 because it asks you for the location of your database. Okay. Now, because this is a single system installation, if it is only one single server, you have to press C, small letter C, not capital C. It will not accept small letter C. Later on, I will tell you how to add additional servers because that's why I have different documents. For example, you only need to install one. I don't care about how to add limbs. But if you're installing multiple limbs, then there is another procedure for that. So if it is only a single system, then you can press C right away, and then it will go to the licenses. So there are two types of licenses. One is traditional, and the other is featured based. So again, traditional is usual traditional, analog, digital, how many users you're going to have, how many ports. Featured based includes the unified communication, which is the Microlab. If you have a Microlab, you use the featured based license. Okay. Anyway, you will know it. So that is the information about it. You will know it once when you're going to use traditional and featured based. Because when you receive the license from Mitel, it will mention featured based, traditional. Okay. So from there you will know.
According to license, we will configure like this.
Yes, for the license.
First of all, we have to check the license.
Yes, you have to first check the license and then you will get it. Okay. NTP is a must. Okay. So here in my lab, I have an NTP 31.31. That is the one that we're using also for the DNS.
Yes.
Okay. Leave this one blank. Okay. No need for that. And then now it's asking for your market. What do you by market? By default, we are using the standard market because we are basically having the same cadence as Europe. So what is a market? So if I select Australia as my market, I have to be in Australia. Okay. If I put it here as Australia, the system will also accept it. But when you complete the installation, when you lift the handset, it's a different tone. When I make a call, ringtone will be different. Trunk line, when you access the trunk line, it will be different. So these are market based on the cadence that is designed for such countries. So we are going to use standard so that when we lift the handset, it will be a straight tone to a dial tone. In Australia, it's different. When you lift it, it will be toot 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 toot. For us, it's a callback.
Yeah.
So it's different. So basically, we are going to use standard, not unless you are on those countries. Okay, that is the uh, quality of service. We leave it as it is. And it asks you for the alias IP address for your Cassandra database. So each server will have its own IP address for Cassandra database. Okay, so you have to point which IP address and media server. Run media server on. Where are you going to activate the media service if it is a pure IP deployment? So you click on spacebar to select. Let's say I have multiple service node, then you select which service node will be installed with media server or media services. Okay, a confirmation, just check if everything is fine. Click on yes, enter the password. This is new. This is new for the 7.4 when you install it. It will force you to make a certificate. Okay. So if you do, this is the password that I'm using. You can use any password that you want. So that is the sample password that I'm using for my certificate. Okay. Remember to keep the password safely if you want to reuse the certificate later. Valid IP address, the IP address of your server, that one. QFTN for the certificate generation. Select bit, it's type, what type of certificate you are going to install. So I normally use that 2048. There's an explanation for what is 2428, SHA-256. It's a certification information. Self-signed certificate created successfully. Certificate needs to be replaced 60 days. Only 60 days. Okay?
It's different.
Yeah, it's because it's self-signed, the one created by mxone. But you can have your own certificate in a 1 year basis. Now, certificate, you need to buy it. It's not just you go to a website, create a certificate, and put it on your system. You have to buy those certificates. So once everything is configured, it will say installation finish. You need to reboot. This is the command to reboot the Linux. Okay, init space 6. That is the command to reboot. If you want to learn more about the different commands in Linux, then you can simply Google it. So when it boot up, remember Linux, now it's service node 1. And then you log in with the password that you created. And to test it as well, once you are logged in, because this is pre-installed together with the telephony, you can go to your web browser, put the IP address of your server, and log in. Remember that mx1 admin? Log in using that one. Okay? And you should be able to see the initial setup for the SN. After everything is installed, the next step is provisioning management. Okay?
In SNM, what steps we have to complete it?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. Because it's pre-installed with the telephone. Okay? That's why I went to my document, because if I go to that training document, it will be stressful for you. You have to read, and you have to, if you want to understand it, it's not a problem, because there are some information there as well if you want to read it. But as you can see, it's the same. Now, another thing, because my virtual machine, I only have one VM network. In ASU, you have network 0 and network 1. So it will show it there. So ETH0 refers to LAN 0, where you are connected your network. So don't choose ETH1 because that is only for redundancy.
Better choose zero.
ETH0, that is the one that you're going to choose. Okay. And the same thing, let's like what I have shown you. Okay. Let me show you how to do it on the virtual machine. So online, kindly just watch this. Okay. This is my virtual machine. Actually, in this virtual machine, I have multiple instances installed on it. Okay. As you can see, if I go to my virtual machines, there are a lot of instances that I have. The reason why I have all of them there, lot of applications, even my MX1 is there. I have my MX1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 8 MX1s I already have loaded to the system. Now, I can do this because my server has this capacity. It's a huge capacity for us. It's almost like 2 terabytes. But as you can see, my space is already limited now. I need to buy more hard disk to add it on that one. My memory is up to 127 or 132 GB. Okay, because my machines are off, that's why it's not using that much. If I turn on all my machines, it will go right away. It will be used right away. Now, I already have loaded my MX1s here, but how do we upload? Again, create OVA, just to show you. Maybe I can put MX1 TR9. That will be the name for my instance. And then OVA. You select that OVA file. Open.
Hello, sir.
Next. Yes, sir.
Uh, can you share the installation document with us?
It is shared with you. It is already shared
Uh,
with you when I emailed it to you.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, Last night, I'm still awake at around 12:30 a.m. So I shared it with you last night. It is on your email, like this one. Not this one, but the other one. Because it's a big file, so you download it from here. Okay. And then the other training is this one I just recently sent to you guys. Okay. So everything you have it there. Okay. Going back. So you check which data store you're going to use or hard disk. Leave it as it is. And then just click on finish. Now, as you can see, when I'm uploading it to the OVA to my machine, you can see that it's now being populated to the virtual machine. Now, while that one is doing, this is how it will be shown to you when it's finished. Okay, it will be turned on. So what I would suggest, because it's 6 GB by default, what I will normally do is power it off first, shut it down. Why do I need to shut it down? Because I need to edit the the the, the required capacity here. So once it's off, I'll go to edit settings, and I will increase. It is 6 GB, so I'll increase it to 8 GB. So just to make it a little bit faster. By default, it's set to 100, so I made it 120. Okay, and then I'll just click on save. And once you have done that, before you turn it on, as I mentioned to you, right click on your instance and take a snapshot. Now, this snapshot I already have taken, so I have loaded OVA. Loaded OVA means I haven't started configuring the system. Now, if I turn it on, okay, if I click on play, as you can see, it booting up on the operating system. SUSE Linux. Let's make it bigger. Okay, so as you can see now, it's Linux. It's asking for you to log in. So to log in, I will put root. Make sure that you click on the window root. Password is change me. Okay. Now you are logged in. The next thing that you need to do is net setup. So when you start doing the net setup, you are now starting to install the telephony system. Okay, I'll click on yes. Yes, I'm going to do that. English. Okay, there is a quick way of doing it. Press F10 on your lower left. It says F9, F10. Or I can do a tab and go to OK. So I can do both ways. I can click on F10. Again, if you have a higher RAM, then it will be much more faster. If you have a virtual machine, for those who are online, if you want to try it, then you can install that OVA to your virtual machine. But make sure you have enough memory and hard disk space on your server. Okay, next thing that it will ask you is your keyboard and then the time.
Time zone.
Yeah, the time zone. Okay, so I will choose Asia because I'm in Dubai. So tab, then I'll go to Dubai. As you can see on your left side, there is a time, date and time.
Yes, yes.
1:14:57, but that is not my time here. It's already 2 o'clock here in Dubai. So even if I search for a country, it's not changing, not unless you click on spacebar. For example, in Sri Lanka, if I click on spacebar, it changes the time. So if I go to Dubai, it changes the time, which is the correct time. So somewhat correct because it's 2:15, but it's already 2:24. Okay. So if that is correct, then I'll just click on OK or F10. Now we have the first one is this one. You see, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but on my document you only have 1, 2, 3, which is the Azure. Okay. So I'll put a master lim because this is my service node 1. Network bonded. Let's say yes, but I don't have it. But what will it show? If I click on yes, then you click on IPv4, and then it will ask you about the information, and then later on it will ask you again with the alias IP addresses for the network, the bonded network. So if I do it, I put something which is wrong, I can always go back to snapshot and redo it again or restart the config. Yes. Okay, restarting the config again. So it's the same thing, same scenario. Okay. So tomorrow we will do the installation for you to start working on it. But anyway, the thing is, I need to give you some information about the other things before you start the installation of the system. Because some of you may know the system already or have seen it, but some of them on the online is first time for them to see this. Okay, so I'll be using the same thing. Okay, then master limb. No, I don't want IPv4. Then this will be my IP address, 10.140.9.50. If you want to make sure, ping it first. See if you have those IP address. Okay. Let me see if someone is using it. Okay, so no one is using it. So I'm going to try another one for my Cassandra because I also need an IP address. No one is using it. It's fine. So let's go back there. /24. Don't forget this because even though you forget it, the system will prompt you that you are missing something, but it will not tell you what you are missing. Okay, that's the only problem. Okay, I will put mx1 sbr1, doesn't matter which name, mitel.com. It can be DC or DC1, whatever. This is only an information. Okay, then I click OK. I'm good with it. Sorry.
I remember one thing.
Yeah.
Instead of gateway, we cannot proceed to
Sorry, the gateway.
gateway. We must have gateway.
Yeah, which is the gateway of your switch, the main gateway.
This is a part of networking. He's just saying
Yeah.
in networking, we must have gateway. Many places they don't have any networking plan.
Oh,
Many places we faced, there is no any network plan. They are saying here's the switch and just install a telephone system.
no, doesn't work that way. It cannot be static all along. You must have a DHCP server. If, okay, okay, I understand. Now, let's say they don't have a DHCP gateway, right? You have a switch, a plain, not a programmable switch, not a manageable switch,
Yes.
just a plain switch.
Yes.
Then everything has to be static. From phone to call manager, static.
Will be static.
Yes, because you don't have a DHCP server. Okay, if you do that, it will work. It will work as a standalone, right? No communication, no internet, nothing. But as a standalone, and everything will be static along the way. If you're going to install 200 phones, you have to configure all 200 phones with static IP, which is wrong, right? So you have to tell them, no, you must have a DHCP server. If you want it this way, then the thing is, if you have some network issues, how can you check it? If you don't have a manageable switch, you cannot trace it, you cannot ping it, you cannot do netstat and so on, because you don't have a manageable switch. Okay, but it's doable. It can work. It will work. Then what will be your gateway? Then just make one IP as your gateway. That's it. Simple as that.
You need one machine with gateway IP.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll click, or let's say you don't have a switch, but you have a server connected to the switch. You can create a DHCP, your server as a DHCP, and then just provide an IP. That's it. Okay. I'll click OK now. The system will check if your IP address is okay. There is no problem with your, and it will also ping your gateway. That's the problem. If you don't have a rightful gateway and it cannot ping the gateway, it will not.
It was pinging, right?
Yeah, it will not allow you to continue. That's
Because I faced this problem.
yes, it will not allow you to continue if it cannot ping the IP address. So simplest way to do it is to have a DHCP server. Because once you have a DHCP server, that will be your gateway. Now we go to the password. So again, on the document, mx1 underscore root, mx1 underscore root, mx1 underscore admin, mx1 underscore admin, mx1 underscore user. And then I'll click OK. Would you like to stop? No, I don't want. Okay. Here is a confirmation. Is it all correct? Yes. So now what it is doing is that it's adding a user to the Linux. It's adding, changing the password, putting the IP address, hard coding it to the SUSE Linux. So when it's done, this is a single system. So I will press C, small letter C, and then if it is not working, it means that you are using capital C. So when you press small c, then you should go here. It can be featured based, it can be traditional. So let's go with traditional, mandatory. So here I have an IP address which have connection to NTP. So that is the one that you're going to use again tomorrow. Okay, I will let you install your own system tomorrow. So I'll click OK. It will check it again. Are you correct? No NTP server is found. Why? Because I put the wrong IP address. Instead of 140, I put 130. Now, does it mean that I need to reinstall again? No. Just go to net setup, as it mentioned here. Yes, because we already configured the password for the mx1 admin, mx1 underscore admin. Then it will go back to traditional NTP 10.140.9.31. Then the system accepted. Now, we tried it in Bangladesh because there is no NTP server, but the network where we are connected has an internet. So what will be the IP address? So we found out that Google has an NTP IP address. So this is how it looks like. You can use that one. If you are connected to the internet, that is the IP address that you can use. The system will also accept it, but you must be connected to the internet. Okay, if you don't have your own NTP server.
If you don't have any on NTP server, we can put this.
Yes.
The
So
condition is we have to connect with the internet, right?
yes. So again, let's go back to that whiteboard. Remember when I mentioned to you, you have SNN connected to the network. You have 2016 server, and you have NTP service activated here, but the system will not allow you because this particular 2000 server or this network must be on the internet. Okay, then why do I need this if I can go directly to Google because it's connected directly to internet? Why? Because maybe this particular server is also providing the DHCP. Okay? So in one scenario, like in Bangladesh, we found out that our network is connected to a router which is connected to internet. So this is also your DHCP, your gateway. So your NTP will be the Google IP address. Okay. So these are scenario. Then, if you really don't have an internet, like what we have shown you, there is a device with GPS antenna, which is will be your NTP device, like the one that I showed you on the AliExpress.
They are used without internet, right?
Without internet, because it will use GPS, so this particular network does not have an internet. Okay? So I hope that that part is clear, even for the guys who are online. Again, this is the IP address. If you have an internet connectivity, then you can do that one. So basically, this one, the router, SN1, and internet connectivity is only when we are doing lab. Okay? If you have a lab system, and of course, you are connected to the router, you can use this IP address. Going back, just to finish it. So I'll click on OK, nothing to put here. Standard, again, if you want to change, you can move your mouse, your cursor, your arrow up and down. Standard, leave it as it is. Quality of service, IP address of my Asandra. So my IP address for the server is 50, then I'll use 51 because nobody's using 51.
IP address already in use.
No. He is checking
Okay.
if it is already in use or not. So media server, of course, I only have one server, so I will click on space bar to select that. Okay. Confirm, yes. Nothing to change. I think everything is okay, so click on yes. Now, the license type is traditional. What if you install it traditional, but the license that you bought from Mitel is featured based? Can I change the license?
Sir, I have a
No.
question.
Yes, sir.
Uh, you just marked the media server right now. What if I don't mark the media server and install the system? Later, can I mark the media server, turn on the media server?
Yes, you can install it later on.
Okay.
Okay. So again, going back to that, the one I mentioned a while ago. What was that? About the license. I selected traditional, right? And unfortunately, I was given a license which is feature based. Can I change the license? No, you have to reinstall the system. Okay, you have to reinstall the system and select feature based, then you can upload the license. So before you do the installation, make sure that you have the license with you, you have the information of the license before you execute things, so that you don't need to um, reinstalling the system. So while we are waiting for this one to finish, it's doing all this, everything, Cassandra, the telephony, the IP addresses, the NTP, and so on. If you don't have any errors, it will just keep on continue the installation. So let me I already forget what I'm going to do. So that is the installation part. It's still running actually. Yeah, it is still running. So it's generating seed servers, creating data centers, and so on. Okay, yeah, I remember now. Sorry, blackout. Um, this is an example of the license. So I'm just going to show you the license of the client. I will show you that Bangladesh client. Anyway, it's only a license, so it's okay to show. This one I already forwarded to my team. Okay, so this is an example of the license file. Okay, and that license file include the information what is those licenses for. That license, that is the hardware ID of your system. This is the IPA number, which is a Mitel ID for the license for that particular customer, the release of the license. Sequence. Sequence means if I add more licenses, that will be sequence 5. Later on, if I add more licenses, that will be sequence 6.
This release will be updated all time, or it may be older.
7.x means it's either 7.0 up to whatever latest you have. If it is version 8, then you have to change the license to version 8. So 7x means whatever 7.0, 7.2, 3, 4, 5, and whatsoever.
You can upgrade it anytime.
Anytime. You can upgrade it anytime. So the name of the end customer, or actually it's the customer, and then the type and the service assurance from Mitel. When and until, not this one, this one. When and until when Mitel will support this particular system. Okay, and then as you can see here, those are the licenses that they have. Okay, you have telephony license, they have one single system. Okay, if you have multiple servers, then it will be counted 2, 3, up to 124. Okay, you have video. This is by default. Anything that you see 5,000 means it's maxed out. It's included on the telephony. You don't need to buy these licenses. Okay. For example, this one, video. What if I have a third-party device, a SIP phone, that has a video capability? Because Mitel does not sell any video phones. We don't have any video phones, but we support third-party video phones. I tried some. I tried
Cisco.
Huawei. Cisco, because the problem with Cisco is the license. I need to buy the license just to make it work, but Mitel doesn't want to do that. It's not our product, leave it as it is. If there is a customer who wants to test the Cisco phones with our system, let them buy the license. Okay. So video, it's maxed out, meaning it doesn't matter how many video phones you're going to activate. It can go up to 500,000. Okay, that is a maximum. Important here is SIP extensions. Okay. So as you can see, SIP extension is also maxed out. Doesn't matter how many SIP extensions you're going to use. Okay? Of course, you have a limit per server, 15,000, right? But you also have, because now what Mitel does, before each terminal will have succeeding licenses. SIP extension, SIP terminal, 2 licenses. SIP extension, third party, 2 licenses. Third party is third party video. There is no third party SIP. Okay. Phone video software key. So you need to buy the license for that. Okay. So extension, IP extension, all maxed out. But user is only 1,801. What does it mean? I can add extensions up to 1,801. Either it's an IP extension, either it is a SIP extension, because it's all maxed out. I can have up to 500,000 user license to be able to maximize that number of users. So anything that you see 500,000, it's maxed out. You don't need to buy the license. Now, what you are buying is a user license only,
Just on, not terminal license.
not terminal licenses. Okay. All times it's terminal and user license. Now it's only user license. Terminal will be maxed out. Now, the reason why in CPQ we still need to tell CPQ how many SIP user, how many third-party SIP, how many this and that, because of the provisioning manager. We have to tell the provisioning manager, I have 2,000 users, you have to manage it. If my provisioning manager is only 1,000 users, I can only manage up to 1,000 extensions. Beyond that, I cannot do it from the provisioning manager. I have to do it from the command line. So that is the difference between the PM licensing and this one. See, even analog extension is maxed out, right? We don't need a terminal license for analog extension. But of course, you have to mention how many analog extension because of the number of line cards that you need to have on the system. But you can activate it, but you don't need a license for the terminal. Everything is now user license. If you only have 1,801, you cannot go up to 1,802. Okay, that is the license.
This license is traditional or
Okay, this will be traditional license. It's not mentioned here. I can say it's a traditional license because
features of it.
where did it say?
Top registered features.
Yeah, that's features. Oh, there are some more licenses here. HLR or redundancies there.
Or not?
Sorry,
Deck.
I don't think they have a deck. Cordless extension, max out. So deck they don't have. Okay. No, it doesn't say. Anyway, with feature license, it will be different. It will show a different type of licensing. There will be a UC. There
Hello,
will be a
sir.
UC included.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
What's the difference between traditional license and feature license?
Yeah, traditional license are all of this. You have to add licenses based on the number of terminals that you need or the number of users that you need. Feature-based license includes UC licenses. So if you don't see any UC licenses here, meaning this is our traditional licenses. Okay? So basically it will tell you right away if it is a traditional license or not.
Then it's how long
Okay? You see this feature service, future service, it might be part of the UC licensing. Okay? The feature-based license. But it's not mentioned here if this is traditional or feature. Okay, let's go back to the system. Let's see what happens. Now installation is successful. So I need to execute init 6 to reboot. So now your virtual machine is rebooting. Oops. Yeah, now he's ringing me. Huh? That's someone else. I just saw Mehdi's email message. I thought he's disconnected.
So once system is up, smooth running, suddenly we disconnect NTP server. What happened? It's a bad thing.
You will have an error. You will have an alarm.
Just allow.
Just alarm.
It will not affect our telephone system or anything.
In one single system, yes.
One through system.
But another thing is the phones. The phones will not get the proper time and date because it relies on the NTP. You can manually change the date and time of the phone, but if the phone reboots, it will go back to the memory of the phone. That the time and date is from when it was produced.
We configure call recording device.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you have an SMDR, it cannot provide you the exact date and time.
Another question beyond the topic.
Yeah.
If you have two locations
Mhm.
and it's not connected with the fiber or any cable, we are just trying to connect with the wireless, ubiquity or anything. It will work.
Wireless. What do you mean by wireless?
Wireless means nano beam like this.
Microwave,
Yes,
something
nano-
like that.
Yeah.
But each microwave has a fiber connectivity in between, right? So that you can translate the signal to a different, like a switch. You will still have a switch from microwave to that switch, a fiber connection, right? So that you can get an IP address.
We can.
Many beams are coming without fiber. Only with UTP cable connected with the beam.
UTP cable meaning you're going to connect it like a WAN on the router, right?
No.
Or
two
a
sides.
switch.
Suppose we have one
Two
office, another place, Mitel office, another place, and we are connecting with the beams. Okay, two beam, wireless beam. Then it will connect with the normal
UTP.
UTP, yes.
Yeah, but what will be the IP address for that UTP? Where is it connected? You will connect
It
it
will connect
directly
with
to
the
the
switch.
system? To the switch,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
But on the switch, is it a managed switch?
Yeah, managed switch.
If it is a managed switch, of course, the managed switch will provide the IP address to your
Yes,
system.
yes,
It will be like that.
yes.
So now your question is what?
In this scenario, wireless on wireless connectivity, this our phone and this
Yeah.
mxone will work or not?
Of course, as a branch office.
Yeah,
That's how you are doing it. It's either microwave or either WAN connectivity or maybe MPSL. Those are the things that you can connect to the system. How you can connect two different network
yes, yes.
in one different locations.
We can connect.
You
as a
can.
branch.
You can. It's just a matter of okay. You can do connection via microlink.
Microlink.
Okay, but the problem is your network, the switches that you configured must communicate to each other, or else there will be no connection. So if you have done that port forwarding or whatever forwarding that you need to do on the switches, if it doesn't allow to communicate with the other end, then there's no sense.
If we have analog phones,
If you have an analog phone there and you have an analog phone here, if they want to communicate, that will run through the network to the gateway. So are you allowing these switches to communicate to each other through the network? If you allow it, then you don't have an issue.
Analog phone will also work.
Yes, of course, because analog is now being transcoded or converted by the MGU as a network call. The RTP resources.
So we don't need any server, anything, another end.
No, that's different.
we need branch office. Means one machine there, one machine.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're talking analog. Analog, no, it needs physical
Yes,
connectivity.
On SIG phone we can use.
Yes, definitely you can use because it's data.
Yeah, exactly.
But with analog, no. But the good thing with our analog, it can go up to 9 kilometers.
Analog.
Analog. From MDF, you lay a 9-kilometer cable, the phone will
Yes,
still work.
but
Yeah.
But somewhere we have a problem, main roads and then.
Yeah, that's another thing.
No one will use, but
That's
this is a
another
scenario we can use
Yeah.
anything.
So I'm logged now. I rebooted and I can see MX1 server 1. I will log in with root and then MX1 underscore root, not change me. And then now I'm logged in. Now to test it, TS underscore about. This will give you information what is the version of your system. That is the command. Okay. So as you can see here, if I'm going to read it, this is version 7.3, Service Pack 2, hotfix 0. 14 is just a sequence of build. Okay, build 14. So you can see it also installs a service node and service node manager. Remember, we did not install anything. We just put an IP address and so on and so on. So now it's telling us, okay, go to the web, put the IP address, and hit enter. And then it opens up the service node manager that you have installed. So to log in, MX1, because we cannot use root, because root is simply for Linux.
Yes.
Now, MX1 admin and MX1 user, it is also a Linux user account, but we put some privileges on it, what it can open. So MX1 admin, MX1 underscore admin. And now you will be able to log into the system. This is the telephony. This is the MX1. Now, do I need a provisioning manager? Yes, to make your life easy when configuring extension. No, if you want to do the command line. Yeah, it will be very difficult if you don't know the commands. But if you are a guy who fond of
Yes.
playing with the keyboards, then go with the commands. And without PM, you can configure extensions as well if you know the commands. Okay, so this is SNM. Now, you two can work on it. You can try it if you want now, or maybe we can do it tomorrow morning. Because the thing is, with the guys online, now I'm focusing on the people online. What they have is a media gateway with an ASU. So, guys, who is using ASU a media gateway? Wajid, you have a media gateway, right?
Yes, I have ASU and media gateway.
So you have ASU and MGU. Okay, that's fine.
7.3 installed.
Yeah, Soicot, you have 3U as well, ASU and MGU. I hope Soicot you're still there. Mehedi? Okay, Mehedi, how about you?
Sorry?
No, I'm talking to Mehedi. Mehedi, how about you?
Sir, can you hear me?
Sorry?
Hello?
Sir,
Sir, I
I
have
have ASU and MGU.
Wait, who's talking? To it?
Sir, Tohit sir.
Yeah, what do you have?
Yeah, I have ASU and MGU.
So you are using 3U as well.
Yes.
Okay, good. Mehedi, how about you? What do you have?
Uh, I have VMware. I've
Oh,
installed my X1 in VM.
okay, you have your ESXi.
Yes, yes.
So which version of MX1 did you install?
7.4.
Ah, so you already have 7.4. That's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can
And
work
already
now.
installed the license.
Okay. Now, because for these two guys here, it will be easy for them because they will be playing on a virtual machine. Now, with you guys, my question is, have you tried booting it up? Is it up and running? Is it already set up or not yet? Is it still Linux or you already have an MX1 installed on your ASU? I know Soykot, you have MX1 already, right?
Yes, and it's running.
Yeah, that's great. No need to reinstall it, okay? Because you already know how to do it. You already know how to do the USB and so on.
Yes,
Okay. Wajid, you already have the MX1 up and running, correct?
Yes, up and running. SN and PM both are running.
Okay, which version is that?
7.3.
7.3. Soykot, you also have 7.3. To it, which version of MX1 do you have? Did you turn it on?
Sir, not yet installed, sir.
Okay,
Just I
when you
need
put,
I need install at first.
okay, can you put a monitor and a keyboard
Yes, sir.
to the ASU and then boot it up and see what happens, what you are seeing on the screen?
Sorry, sir.
Can you put a monitor and a keyboard to the ASU too?
Yes, sir. I already connected ASU with keyboard and mouse and a
Okay.
monitor.
Now, when you turn it on, what is showing on your screen?
Sir, I have tried to install success, but when I put the command ts underscore about, but it's not showing the version.
Okay, but tell me what is on the screen right now without any commands. What is showing on the screen?
Sir, I logged on root
Okay.
showing lim1. I have putting name lim1. So lim1 colon hash after
Colon
login.
hash. Lim1 colon hash.
Yeah.
Okay, so it will look like, okay. It will look like this. Lim1 colon hash, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And red color.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know the MX1 admin username and password?
Sir, password is Eurotel1043.
No, for the MX1 admin. Can you open the web browser?
Admin, what, sir? Sir,
Okay.
yes, sir. MX1's underscore admin password is Eurotel1044.
Okay. Now you are connected as root. When you type ts underscore about, what happened?
Okay, wait, I'm seeing.
Take some.
Sir, it's showing MX1 underscore admin colon like arrow.
Okay. Are you doing it on your PC? Is your laptop connected to the same network as your MX1?
Uh, Cannot, sir, because my laptop has no VAG port, VGA port. I can send you photo in your
Okay.
WhatsApp.
Okay. Send me a photo. Send me a photo now. Let's see.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Can you type ts underscore about? Mehdi? Mehdi, can you hear me?
Same message showing, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Sorry, Mehdi, not you. It's to it. Sorry. Okay. PS underscore above. Okay. Because your system is very old, I guess. Now, what I want you to do to it is put your laptop, is it connected on the same network as your MX1?
Okay, sir.
What do you mean by okay?
Sir, for connecting same network, I need some time, sir.
Because it's not connected. Okay. Because the thing is, you must see if you're connecting to SNM, what is the version of the system. You will find it there as well. See, if I am on SNM, it will show like this. Okay. So how would I know what is the version of my system? If I click on About, then it will show you that version on your right side. So what I would suggest is that if this is if your MX1, put your laptop on the same. Okay. Then you open a web browser and you should be able to connect to the SNM. Okay, to it. Okay. Please do that. If you have time, do that. Okay. So I will let. It's already 3 o'clock. So actually, there are other things that I need to add here because we just now did a service node manager. I want to stop here because there are too many information and it will be a problem for you guys. Anyway, we're here for 2 weeks, so we can take it slow. Okay. The next thing that we need to do here is to install the provisioning manager. Okay. Installing the provisioning manager, you will see it in the documentation. We are done with this one. We already done this one. And we already tested it. The next thing is installing a provisioning manager. So that's why I put 1, 2, 3. Installing a provisioning.
Sir, I have one question. How
Yes,
to
sir.
see that I have already installed Provision Manager or not?
Okay, one way of checking if provisioning manager is installed or not, that is when you go to your root and you click on TS About. See here, the provisioning manager, I don't have any information. So it means I have not installed it yet. Okay?
Okay, understood. Okay.
Now, if you saw something there, meaning the provisioning manager is already installed. Okay?
Okay.
I'll show you an example on my lab. This is my lab system. TS about. Now you see I have information about the provisioning manager. It means it's also installed on the same server. I already installed it. So like in our example, provisioning manager is not yet there, so meaning it's not yet installed. You have to install it. Okay. Now this will be the last part for today, and we'll just call it a day, and then you can continue tomorrow. And also Tuwid has to do something on his side, because I don't want to leave someone not on the same page, or else it will be a big problem for us. Okay. So provisioning manager, if I'm going to install it, the first rule is that you must be on root account. Okay. You must be logged in as root account. Now, in this scenario, I'm still on my virtual machine. I can close it. I can close all these things. I don't need them anymore. Okay. Now that I already installed my system, how am I going to connect to the system? So one way of doing that is by using PuTTY. Put the IP address of your system, port 22 because we're using SSH. I'll put a name here. Training. I'll change some settings here to make it more pleasing and easy to look at. So I'm going to change my font. Go back there and then save, then open. Okay. Warning. Yeah, that's fine. So now you can see that is my server. 10.140.9.50. Can I log in as root? Root mx1 underscore root denied. You are not allowed, when you are using PuTTY, you are not allowed to access root. This is a security where if somebody connected to the system, they can easily delete the accounts and delete a lot of things. So that's why you cannot use it in root. So I'm going to open PuTTY again, go for that training. Okay, load it and open it again. So for you to log in, you can only use mx1 admin. Okay, then mx1 underscore admin, because that's the password that I use. Now I am inside the system. Now, in the document that I shared to you in installing provisioning manager, of course, there are some information about it. Okay. There is also an instruction that when you are installing it, you must be as root. Now, I am in PuTTY. I am mx1 admin. So if I execute that command that he is telling me to do, I am not allowed to execute it because I don't have permission. Who can execute that command? That is only root. Okay. So that's why here, sorry, let's close that one. To execute this command, you have to be on root. So how do you go to root? SU space dash. You are changing the user password of root, mx1 underscore root. And as you can see, now I'm root because I can see the color is different and that is root privilege. Now I'll execute that mx1 maintenance. Oh, because I type it wrongly. So let's say you type it wrongly. Here, if you press MX and then tab on your key, you have options. You will see the options of the command. If I put MX1 tab and then maintenance tab, then it will just completely write down the maintenance because there is no other MAN, right? So I'll click on that. and that will be the maintenance part of the MX1. You can do a lot of things here. You can add a limb, you can add a server, you can add a standby server or redundant server. You can upgrade your system. You can load your license. A lot of things. Those things are done through MX1 underscore maintenance. Okay. So what do we need to do now is to install a provisioning manager. To install a provisioning manager, you will find it in web management. You click OK. Oh, sorry, wrong. You will find it in add-on software. Sorry. Add-on software. If you want to check what is installed on your system, you can do that. Those are the available package. When you say available package, it is already there on your system. What is installed on my system? Currently, only Service Node Manager. Okay. Install and upgrade. I want to install Provisioning Manager. Okay. Spacebar to select. And then, okay. Where do you want to install this Provisioning Manager? Again, Provisioning Manager can be installed in any other server. If you have multiple server, it's up to you. But normally, we install it on server 1. 0, you can put unlimited or just leave it blank. But 0 will do, unlimited. So it will be much more faster. Execution will continue targeted server. You will install the provisioning manager on server 1. Are we good to go? Yes. Continue. And we'll just wait for it till it continue the installation. Okay, accept. Now, the thing is, if I click on accept, if I press enter, you thought that nothing is happening. Something is happening in the background. You can see it's running. Don't need to press enter, 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 enter. Just wait for it till it's finished. Just one enter will do. Tomorrow morning, you'll practice it. You'll install your own.
Today we was late.
Sorry?
Today we was late.
Today?
Yes.
What do you mean?
He was late. Yeah.
No. When you came, I just explaining the documents I shared. That's all.
You know, we are just wandering and looking for this place.
That's fine. Because in Bangladesh,
Sir,
yes. Yes,
hello.
yes, I got.
Sir, now it's working on background.
No, it's a joke. When I was in Bangladesh, because I'm teaching the army,
Yes.
so when I told them, when you presenter, it's working on the background. Now this sergeant, whenever something is working on the background, he will tell me, now the system is working on the background. So it became a joke for him. That's why Toycott reminded me about it.
Yes.
Yes. So let's continue. So one enter, leave it as it is. Again, the joke is there. It's working on the background. You don't need to do anything. That's why it says quiet installation.
रोक दिया है लेकिन एक बार गिरा है ना बैलेंस तो है ना मोइन अभी मार दिया बहुत मैच फंसा हुआ पता है फंस रहा है
again, while we're waiting for that, this instruction is step by step. Okay? It will tell you where to go, what you need to do, even what you need to press to select. And we are on this part. License. And this is what we are waiting for.
Arnold,
Create. Yes.
can we have a 5-minute prayers break?
Okay, okay. No problem.
Yes, you're also.
Because time is going out for the
Okay,
prayers.
let's do that, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, while this one is running, I will pause the I will not stop the recording though, because if I restart the recording, it will be another set. But yeah, go for prayer. Come back, and we'll continue with this one. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay
Okay,
then.
sure.
Okay. Let him finish the.
It's, fuel.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Are you there?
Yes, to it. Tell me.
Sir, can you check my system problem? I can share with you my screen now. My system and laptop are same network now.
Oh, okay. Okay. Give me a team viewer or any desk.
Sir, Anydex.
Yeah, yeah. Any desk will do. You have any desk? To it. Oh, okay. What's that? That 170, right? Hmm. Hmm. It's not yet installed. Okay. Put the password. Do you have an NTP? Tuwid, put your microphone unmute, okay, so that we can talk to each other.
Sir,
Hmm. So NTP. No, put Google NTP address. Put that one, 216.239.5.0. 239, huh? 239. That 5.0, not that 4, that 0. Wait. That is 2. 239. That 5.
35.4, sir.
That 0, not 4. Put that 0.
Sir,
Yeah, I
here
know.
showing 4.
Yeah, I know it shows 4, but put 0 instead.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Hmm. Again, 216.239. What happened? What happened to it?
I don't understand, sir. I think you and me both are trying at a time.
Okay.
Okay, you just put the value.
Because I cannot control it.
I guess the server got disconnected. Restarted the boot.
Oh, okay. Can you change this IP? To it?
Sir,
Can you change that IP?
Can you change the IP?
Okay, you put that 4, no problem.
Can, sir, can.
Try it on your side. Change it.
Sir, I will change the IP, but which IP I need to change?
Yeah, this
Rohit
one.
bhai, রোহিত ভাই ওই যে গুগলের যে এনটিপি আইপিটা দেখাইছে ওইটা আপনি
হ্যাঁ।
এখানে বসায় সাবমিট দেন। ওনার এন্ড থেকে উনি কন্ট্রোল করতে পারতেছেন না, আপনি দেখেন, বুঝছেন?
হ্যাঁ, বুঝতে পারছি, কিন্তু আমি তো পারতেছি না, বুঝতেছি না। এটা কি কোনো একটা ভেজাল
তাহলে
আছে?
আপনার সার্ভার ডিসকানেক্ট হয়ে গেছে, আপনি পুটি কাইটে আবার লগ ইন করেন পুটি দিয়ে।
Connect again. Yes. Close and connect. Connect to PuTTY again.
সার্ভার ডাউন আছে মেবি, আপনি পিং দিয়ে দেখেন তো সার্ভার পান কিনা, পিং দ্য সার্ভার।
Okay. Log in. Oh. Why did you log in with root?
So then,
Log out and then log in with one_admin. Maybe one of your team changed the config file of the Linux. That's why you are able to log in as PuTTY. But basically, this is not allowed. You shouldn't activate this. It can be activated if you know the script, but this is not how we do it. Exit. Okay, log in again to the system using PuTTY. Okay. Log in as mx1 admin_admin. Okay. Root password. Okay. Nothing's there. So next setup. Password. Okay. Now, question to you. Wait. No. Let me type it, okay?
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay. My question to you. This network of the PABX, is it connected to the internet or not?
Yes, connected with internet.
The PABX, huh? I'm not talking
Yeah.
about your laptop. The PABX.
Connected with internet, sir.
Okay. Let me click on apply. No, it's not connected to the internet. Because if it's connected to the internet, you'll be able to connect to that one. Try to log in again, mx1_admin. The password. So I think what wait. No, it's not connected to the internet. Okay. The thing is, your network should be connected to the internet. The your system should be connected to the internet. Your laptop is connected to the internet because I think you have a device. Is this a USB internet device?
Yeah, internet device.
Yes. So internet device is connected to your PC, but the IP address of your network, which is the 192.168.1.170, it's not connected to the internet.
Okay, so
That
I need to configure the system to this network. I mean,
okay. So I will tell you what I will tell you your setup.
okay, sir.
Here is your laptop, right?
Yeah, laptop, sir.
Your laptop is connected to a USB which is going to the internet, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, your laptop is also connected to the network of
Yes,
192.168.1.x.
yes, sir.
Now, you have your MX1 connected to that same network. So, this one is 192.168.1.170, correct?
Yes, sir.
My question is, this network, this switch, having this IP, is it connected to the internet or no?
Sorry, sir.
The switch
Swiss is connected with internet, sir.
to internet?
Yeah, through internet.
Are you sure?
Sure, sir.
Then why do you need a USB to connect your laptop to the internet?
Uh, Actually, I don't know what the problem. When I remove the LAN cable from my server and connected with my laptop, then it's get the internet. But when I put the same LAN, the system PBX, then cannot get
Okay,
internet.
okay. If you do it like this is the switch, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, without the USB stick, are you able to connect to the internet?
Sorry, sir.
Without putting the USB stick on your laptop, okay? If you remove this USB stick, are you able to connect to the internet without the USB stick?
তো তহিদ ভাই আপনি কি মডেম ইউজ করতেছেন নাকি ওয়াইফাইতে আছেন?
Sir,
আমি আমি
we
সাত
have
বলতেছি।
we have a router. We have a router, and the router connected with a switch. From this switch, I have connected PABX and a laptop.
Yeah, okay.
Can you ping google.com from mx1?
Here is your router. You said here is your router. And your router is connected to your switch.
Yes, sir. Router is connected with a switch. From that switch, I have connected the PABX and laptop.
Yeah, this is how it is
Through
right
LAN.
now. Yes, through that.
ভাই আপনার
But can you
সিস্টেমের আইপি কত?
Huh?
আপনার সিস্টেমের আইপি কত?
সিস্টেমের আইপি 170
মানে তো ফুল সিরিজ।
1.170 1.170 1 সিরিজের।
আচ্ছা আপনার হচ্ছে নেটের আইপি কত?
No, the IP is
নেটে ওই 1 সিরিজেরই আইপি আর কি। যদি আমি
One
ওয়াইফাই
series
কানেক্ট
এরই
করি
IP
তাহলে 88 আর ল্যানে কানেক্ট হলে 1।
মানে 1.88?
হ্যাঁ,
What?
না।
okay.
88 ডট সামথিং।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
Uh,
ভাই
Tweet.
মানে
আপনারা
Anil,
খুশি
one
রিল্যাক্স থেকে
minute.
আপনি পিং পাই কিনা দেখেন।
What is the IP of your laptop if it is connected to the
Yes.
switch?
maybe the server IP and internet IP is different.
What is the IP address of your laptop? To it. Are you still there?
তো এইবার আপনি আইপি কনফিগ দিয়ে আপনার ল্যাপটপের আইপিটা দেখেন।
I think Tawhid bhai got disconnected.
Tohid bhai left.
Oh, he left?
No, he got disconnected, I guess.
Ah. No,
He's
because
disheartened.
Soykot is shouting at him. That's why he disconnected.
Oh, no.
He's depressed.
No,
I'm just asking.
yeah. Guys, you understand what is the issue, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Arul, just we can check that from MX1, if we can ping 8.8.8.8, then internet is okay. From MX1.
No, you cannot. The problem is you cannot.
Oh.
Now I'm also disconnected from his AnyDesk.
Plus he left. He's depressed.
Let me check it myself. Because the thing is, we still have a Wi-Fi connected to the USB stick. Now, if I'm going to the network, there is an Ethernet. Okay, let us see what is his Ethernet. Now he doesn't want to. Okay, let me do it to it. Let me see. Because we want to check everything. What happened? So this is Ethernet. You also have Wi-Fi. Okay. Okay, from here we will see. No. Let us see what he has. Okay, this is your Ethernet adapter 1.92. Gateway is 88.1. Hmm?
This is not good.
Ah,
That's the gateway problem.
yeah. The thing is, you are still putting it on your USB, right?
Yes, sir.
So is it the same setting that you have before? That you are pushing the USB to get the Wi-Fi?
Sorry, sir.
No, I'm
Sorry,
asking. Yeah.
Anand, please say again.
No, having the same setting. If you have your USB connected to your laptop.
No, no,
So what is this 88.91? What is this one?
I don't know. It's default gateway.
No, no.
Yeah, but gateway of what? Yeah,
Maybe
two IP slash.
Sir, sir, 88.91 is my LAN IP, but I have added advanced then one series IP.
ভাই আপনি ডিএসসিপি ব্যবহার করেন ভাই?
DSCP
হ্যাঁ।
DSCP করলে তো আমার সিস্টেমে ঢুকতে পারবো না। আমার
কেন ভাই?
সিস্টেম তো
আপনার
ওয়ান
সিস্টেমের আইপি, আপনার
Rather gateway.
সিস্টেমের আইপি আর আপনার ইন্টারনেটের আইপি সেম না?
না সেম না, দুই সিরিজের আইপি।
তাইলে সেজন্যই হচ্ছে আপনার এনটিপি পাচ্ছে না। আপনি ডিএসসিপি কইরা আপনি হচ্ছে সার্ভারের আইপি হচ্ছে আপনার এই সেম সিরিজের আইপি দিবেন, তাহলে আপনার এনটিপি পাবে, তাছাড়া এনটিপি পাবে না। বুঝতে
তাহলে
পারছেন ভাই?
সার্ভার নতুন করে কনফিগার করতে হবে।
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ।
Adil, their network is 88, not 1.
See, no internet.
Yeah,
Still, it
because
says
they
no
have.
internet.
Yes.
আর্নেল,
It's pinged.
Ah, okay.
হ্যালো আর্নেল।
Yes. Tell me.
Sir, so I need to configure my PABX in internet series IP, right?
Yes, right.
Correct. Wait. Yeah. Okay.
No, it's connected.
This is from
Ah.
my.
Ping.
Wi-Fi.
It's of the. No, just ping the router. No, it's the router. Net.
সিরিজের আইপি উঠাতে হবে।
Yeah.
Because their internet IP is 88 network, not one network. So you have to configure your PABX in 192.168.88 subnet.
Yeah,
Yes.
PABX. PABX and internet are different series.
Yes, 88 subnet.
Yeah, but that 88, is that your switch or your internet?
88 is my internet, but Swiss series is one dot something.
How?
But your default gateway is 88.1. It
সেম
must
না,
be
সেম না
1.1.
হইলে আপনার ইয়েটা পাবে না, এনটিপিটা, গুগলের এনটিপিটা পাবে না।
Sir, so I will reconfigure my PABX in 88 series.
Exactly.
Yeah. But if you configure your PBX to 88 series, okay, where is that? You're going to have a problem. Where is your putty? Let me put it this way so that we can read it clearly. Okay, log in with MX1 admin. Because the thing is, he haven't finished installing it. That's why he cannot see the TS about. Password. Okay. Now go to SU. Password. Okay. See, it's already lim1. I don't know what you did. Why it became lim1 already while you haven't finished installing the system? Okay. See, I can still not do this because you have not completed your setup. Now, problem is there is no way that you can change your IP. Remember when I told
Okay, sir.
you, if you install
Okay,
it,
sir.
an IP
Okay, sir.
address, you have to reinstall it if you're going to put a new IP address.
Okay, sir. Okay.
But how are you going to reinstall it? Do you have the USB stick?
USB stick, sir.
Yeah, you have it with you?
Yes, sir.
Soikot, can you tell him about the recovery USB if he has it?
Yes, of course.
No, I mean, can you, because I don't know if he understand what I told him about the USB stick. Does he has it or not?
তাহিদ ভাই
হ্যাঁ
ভাই আপনার কি বুটেবল করা ইয়ে আছে ইউএসবি আছে
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ ইউএসবি আছে
মানে বুটেবল করা mx1 টা বুটেবল করা
হ্যাঁ বুটেবল
गौरी
করা
भाई रिकवरी यूएसबी है आपके पास? रिकवरी यूएसबी है आपके पास?
Yeah, I have a USB with the PBX.
ইয়া রিকভারি ইমেজটা বুটেবল করা না ভাই
হ্যাঁ
তাহলে ওটা দিয়ে আপনি রিইনস্টল করতে পারেন
হ্যাঁ রিইনস্টল করতে পারবো সমস্যা নেই রিইনস্টল করতে পারবো
okay Anil they have also a recovery image bootable image sorry USB stick with bootable
Okay, then they need to reinstall it. Okay, with the USB.
okay
Okay.
Okay, let them do that. If he cannot do that tonight, we'll do it tomorrow. Okay, I don't want to waste time with this one.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
After training session, I will reinstall.
Yes. Okay, so I'll disconnect now on the any desk. Now let's go back to the system. Let's finish this one. Okay, so we'll continue with this one with the provisioning manager. So put any name on it. And this is the most important username. Okay, so I'll press OK. Okay, before that, before I continue with that one, let me give you some information about why do we need to have another account. Okay, when we install the telephony, it installed SUSE Linux, and then it installed mx1. Installing the mx1, it also installed Service Node Manager. Now, as you can see, the arrow is explaining that for Service Node Manager to access my voice mx1, it should use the mx1 underscore admin account, which is a Linux account. Now, when we are installing provisioning manager, we are creating another account. And that account is basically the user account for provisioning manager only. And we are not creating that account on the SUSE Linux. So, someone, can you mute yourself? Because I can still hear. Please mute your microphone. So we have different type of users. Linux account. We have root, we have mx1 admin, and we have mx1 user. Now, who can use this one? Service node manager when you log in.
Yes.
Who can use this one?
Provision.
Putty can use this.
Okay.
Also this one, Putty can use it. Root will be on the server itself. When you access by a server, okay? Now, you can use this root account with Putty if you do that SU dash and then the password of the root. Now, this is how it's being built. Then we installed Provisioning Manager. Provisioning Manager has its own account. In our example, the username is mpadmin. And it has its own password, which we are going to create. Looking at it, if I open SNM, can SNM use this account to open SNM? No, because it's not Linux account. It's a separate account that is solely for Provisioning Manager, right? So if I have a PM, can I use mx1 admin to log into Provisioning Manager? Also no, because this is intended only for Linux and not for the PM. Okay, with the picture that you have seen a while ago, so you have operating system, Linux. We installed mx1, and that mx1 also installed SNM. So with this setup, this is complete. SNM can communicate with mx1 through the account of Linux, right?
Okay.
Now we installed PM. PM, let's treat PM as a third-party application. So PM, we created its own account, mp_admin. So when you open the browser of SNM, you cannot use this account. I can only use this particular account. If I open PM on the browser, I can only use this account and not the Linux account. Now, during the installation, there is a process where these two can talk to each other. What does it mean? If I open SNM on a browser, I should be able to open it using the account mpadmin. So there is a process to make them talk to each other so that if I program some extensions here, let's say I'm going to execute an extension here, it will check with SNM if that extension has a number, has a class of service, and so on. Then it will feed back a data to PM. Yes, I have that extension number, create it. So we are going to activate this particular authorization. We are going to authorize mpadmin to access SNM. But once we do that, we can no longer use this one on SNM. Okay? So to put it on context, to put it on the sample, I'm creating mpadmin. I'll click on OK. Password. So as you can see, there is a rule on the password.
Yes.
Capital M, capital X, 1, underscore mpadmin, small letters. So it needs a letter. So the password for this one, this is what I usually use. Okay. Capital letter, number, character, small letters. I'll press OK. mx1 underscore mpadmin. Location, it doesn't matter, click OK. So again, on the document, I shared it on the document regarding the password. Okay, this is the password that I normally use for that. mx1_mpadmin. Maybe in 30 minutes time we will finish. Then we'll call it a day. We'll just finish this one. So that tomorrow when you practice it, at least you know where to go, or if not, at least we can easily understand where it is. Okay. Now it says it's like it's okay. The installation is finished. Now, where are we going to change this authentication? But before that, I will show you that when I open a while ago, when we put the IP address, it shows us SNM, right? Now, when we install PM, when I put that IP address, what it will show is the PM web portal, not the SNM. So on top, PM is the most higher than the SNM. Okay, so it's still doing the process. Yeah. So as you can see, it's now provisioning manager. When we are not yet installing the provisioning manager, it's showing SNM. How can we see SNM? Same IP address. But we put web browser management, WBM. Then it shows me SNM. Right? So now I have two applications. How do we log in here a while ago? We used the mx1 admin and the password mx1_admin, which right now you can still use because I'm using Linux account. With PM, to log in, I have to use that account that I created for PM. Oops, sorry.
You cannot use MS1.
Yeah, okay, let's try that one. Good that you asked. mx1 admin, mx1_admin. You cannot use it because it's not part of the Linux. Okay, it has its own account. So the account is mp_admin, mx1_mpadmin. So now you can open provisioning manager. But the problem, without doing the authentication to allow PM to access SNM, this is what happens. I will have lots of error. See? Subsystem. What is subsystem? The subsystem for PM is SNM. And it cannot access SNM because he's using a different authentication, which is PM authentication and not Linux. That's why Linux says, no, you're not allowed because you're not using the Linux account. So we need to change that. We need to change SNM authentication from Linux to PM authentication. Okay? to change the privileges. You don't need to worry because it's also there how to change authentication. Okay. So how do we change it? I will close everything for now. Then I will change it now by going to web management. Set SNM to authenticate with PM or Linux. So if I click on OK, right now it's authenticating through Linux, the SNM. So I'm going to change it and I will tell the system change to PM authentication for the SNM. Okay, use HTTP. This you don't need to change. 127.0.0.1 means local host, which is your server. So you don't need to change any IP address on this part. You click OK. Press enter to continue. Okay. Restart now. Yes. And we'll just wait for it till it reboots and we will see what will happen.
Arnal, if PM is installed on another machine, then we have to change the IP from 127.0.0.1, right?
Yes, correct. You are correct. Okay. If it is installed on server 2, then put the IP address of server 2, not the local host. Okay?
Right. Okay.
Because MX1 maintenance, you can only do it from the main server, not on other server. So I'll click enter. It's finished. So now let me go back to my browser, though it's still restarting. But I will continue with this one. It's still rebooting. Let's wait for that.
Okay, Arnal, my MX has 7.3 with 7.3 licenses. If I upgrade to 7.4, then same licenses will work, or I have to upgrade the licenses?
No need to update the license because it's on the same release.
Okay.
Okay, so MP_admin, enter. Still, I'm using the MP authentication. Now, let's go to SNM. Same IP address. WBM, enter. Now, mx1_admin, mx1_admin. Now, it does not accept that Linux account anymore because we told the system change the authentication of SNM to what? To PM. Now I'm able to connect and open it. Now, if I go to MX1 provisioning and go to services, am I going to have the same error? Yes, because though you change the authentication, you have to create a link between the two, which is the subsystem. Okay, see, I opened this by going to the web, to putting the address. So there is another way to go there. So here, it says initiate a subsystem. So subsystem is under here. System, subsystem, then add. What are you going to add? I'm going to add the MX1 system to my provisioning manager so that I can have a link between the two. So what is the IP address of your what is the name? I can put any name. What is the IP address? It's 10.140.9.50. How do you connect now to your subsystem?
MP.
Yes, MP_admin. And of course, the password of that MP_admin. MX1_MP_admin. MX1_MP_admin. Okay. The rest, leave it blank. You don't. Leave it blank. You don't need it. Okay. And then I'll click on OK. Apply. Done. You see traditional license. If I click on traditional license, it will show me that when you are working on a new MX1 without license, this one tells you that it will work up to 20 days. But Mitel changed it again. Now you can use the trial license for 60 days. Okay, they increase it again. Before it was 60, they put it 20. So a lot of people get angry. Okay, put it back to 60. So now the trial license is 60. Now, what is the main purpose of this one? If I click on this one, what will happen is that it will open SNM right away.
Okay.
I don't need to open it on the other window. And one more thing, because I can now open SNM, if I go to services, extension, now it gives me an option. What do you want to see? What do you want to check on your telephony? Do you have an IP extension setup? You click star so that it will view all. View. Right now, there is no data because I haven't configured the system. So what we did here is just to have a communication between PM and the telephony. Again, SNM, you are configuring the telephony configuration. PM, you are executing the extension. As I mentioned a while ago, if I don't have a PM, can I still make it work? Can I still program extension? Yes, but through command line. The main purpose of this one is to remove the command line so that it will be easily for me to distribute or execute an extension. Different type of extension. It can be SIP, analog, digital, and so on, or third-party SIP. So that's the main
Sir, I have a
purpose.
question.
Yes.
So, like some of my existing client already have mxone installed, but no provisioning manager installed, and they don't
Okay.
have any internet connection. So, without internet connection, can I install provision manager
Of course.
on their system?
But the question is, what is the version of their system? It might be a very old one.
7.3.
Yeah, if it is 7.3, you can easily install. Like what you have seen a while ago, I can simply install PM.
Sorry, it's 7.2.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. You can install it. The thing is,
Okay.
I've seen this many times. Partners, they install the system up to here only. They did not install PM because they want to do command lines. If you're fond of doing command lines, that is also fine. But sometimes when you are configuring an extension, you miss some parameters, and that causes some issue. That's why we are doing this PM and SNM. But of course, without PM, as I mentioned, you can configure the system. With PM, it will be better. And you will see that tomorrow when we continue with that one. Okay?
Okay.
I want to stop here because too much information. You have to work on your lab, on your own system, have the system installed, and then we will talk about how to configure your system. Okay? For the guys who are online, as I told you, your system is already up and running. Okay? Maybe you have started working on the extension, but because you have the system with you. But for the guys who are here, they don't have a system to work on, so they will start working on it tomorrow. And then from there, we will continue with how to activate an extension, what do we need to activate an extension, and so on. A lot of things that we can do tomorrow. And one more thing to it, you have to finish that reinstallation of your MX1 with the new IP address. And make sure that IP address that you're going to use is on the same network that has an internet, or else it will not work if you don't have an NTP. Okay? So what we're going to do a summarize of what we did, but tomorrow morning, so that at least it will be fresh for you guys. But for now, I guess it's a long day for all of you, so we can stop from here and we can continue tomorrow. Okay?
Sure, sure,
Sir.
sure.
Do you have any other question before we call it a day?
No
Or
question from
just
my side.
Yeah, or just collect your question and maybe some question will pop up. So ask me tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah, but I want to download the recording.
Okay, okay. I'm going to stop the recording for now so that you can download. Wait,
Thanks, thanks.